It might just be sleeping like a teenager on summer break. 10 hours. Maybe even 11. Sounds lazy? Irresponsible? Like something only cats or rock stars on hiatus can afford to do? What if I told you that history's greatest minds, cutting-edge neuroscience, and even evolutionary biology are quietly whispering, "Go back to bed"? We've been collectively tricked. For decades, we've worshipped at the altar of hustle. 8 hours? Real heroes survive on 5. Entrepreneurs brag about running companies on 4 hours of sleep like it's a badge of honor. Meanwhile, you, with your 7.5, are made to feel like a mere mortal. But here's the plot twist. Some of the sharpest, most innovative people, Einstein, Nikola Tesla, when he wasn't overworking himself to collapse, Salvador Dali, were notorious for sleeping a lot. Einstein? 10 hours a night. He also took naps. The man bent the fabric of space-time and then bent the rules of bedtime. Because it's not just resting. During those extra hours, it's basically a night shift construction crew, tearing down faulty wiring, paving new neural roads, replaying the day's memories to decide which ones to keep and which to toss. Think of your hippocampus as a frantic librarian frantically filing yesterday's experiences. Cut that process short, and tomorrow's thinking is built on half-sorted shelves. And here's where it gets wilder. Deep in those long sleep cycles, your brain flushes out metabolic waste products. There's even a glymphatic system, a kind of nocturnal cleaning crew. Without enough time, it's like leaving a party without taking out the trash. Things get funky fast. For some people, sure. But 8 is an average, not a law of nature. If you're physically active, stressed, or under cognitive load, like most modern adults, you may need more. There's evidence that people consistently sleeping 9 or more hours perform better on memory tasks, emotional regulation, and creative problem solving. It's like upgrading your computer's RAM overnight. Yes, the system boots up with 8 gigs, but with 16, suddenly Photoshop doesn't crash when you open 3 tabs. Our society loves the myth of the sleepless genius. Thomas Edison called sleep a heritage from our cave days. The implication? We've outgrown it. Yet Edison also took multiple naps a day and sometimes clocked in more sleep than he admitted. The hypocrisy is almost comical. Fast forward to today, we glorify the always-on lifestyle. Instagram influencers post rise and grind at 5 a.m. Meanwhile, your brain is begging for another REM cycle so it can do the emotional laundry you didn't have time for yesterday. This is more than just biology, it's cultural conditioning. We've made exhaustion a status symbol. Imagine if we bragged about dehydration the same way. Bro, I only drank half a glass of water today. Absolute warrior. Sounds ridiculous, right? Yet we do that with sleep. For most of human history, the world after dark was dangerous. Predators, rival tribes, freezing temperatures, night wasn't exactly cozy. So if our ancestors' bodies evolved to demand long, vulnerable periods of unconsciousness, there must have been an enormous payoff. Sleep is costly in survival terms, which means its benefits, memory consolidation, emotional regulation, immune function, must have outweighed the risks. Even animals show this pattern. Lions sleep 20 hours a day. Dolphins let half their brain nap while the other half stays awake. Nature's basically screaming, if you can sleep safely, do it. Most of us are walking around sleep-deprived. Not in a dramatic, I haven't slept in 3 days way, just chronically underslept. You know that foggy feeling mid-afternoon? The low-grade irritability, the caffeine addiction, the inability to recall why you just walked into a room? That's your brain begging for more sleep. We mistake it for normal adulthood. It's not. It's sleep debt. And like financial debt, it charges interest. Over years, that debt shows up as memory problems, weakened immunity, mood disorders, even higher risks of Alzheimer's. Think about a time you accidentally overslept, 10, maybe 11 hours. Did you wake up groggy? Sure. But later, did you notice colors looked sharper? Ideas clicked faster? Conversations flowed easier? That wasn't a coincidence. That was your brain finally catching up on its backlog of maintenance. Elite athletes have known this for years. NBA players, Olympic swimmers, they're not just training in the pool or on the court. They're training in bed. Studies show athletes who sleep 10 hours improve their reaction times and accuracy dramatically. If you admire their discipline on the field, maybe it's time to admire their discipline under the duvet. We spend billions on productivity tools, apps, planners, noise-canceling headphones, even nootropics that promise laser focus. But the cheapest, most effective performance enhancer? It's free. It's already in your bedroom. And it doesn't require a single subscription. Yet we resist it. Because choosing to sleep more feels like giving up. Like stepping out of the race. Like you'll miss the memo, the opportunity, the dopamine hit from your feed. But maybe that's the trick. Stepping out of the noise might be exactly what lets you see the bigger picture. Sleeping 10 or more hours every single night might signal something else, like depression or a medical condition, if it's constant and accompanied by fatigue. Context is key. This isn't a prescription to hibernate through life. It's an invitation to rethink the arbitrary limits we've placed on rest. The goal isn't to chase a number, but to honor your body's actual needs, especially in seasons of stress, growth, or recovery. Sometimes 10 hours is exactly what you need. Sometimes 7 is fine. The point is, don't treat 8 as sacred scripture. In the movie Inception, time moves slower inside dreams. A few minutes outside can feel like hours inside. Sleep is a bit like that. While your body lies still, entire worlds unfold, memories are replayed, future scenarios are rehearsed, emotional knots are untangled. You wake up thinking you just lay there, but a whole psychological universe was hard at work. Cut that short, and you're basically yanking your brain out mid-heist. No wonder it spends the day stumbling through mental hallways, dropping ideas like loose cash. Instead of seeing extra sleep as laziness, what if we saw it as strategy? As rebellion against a culture that confuses exhaustion with achievement? What if the true intellectual flex isn't posting a 5 a.m. workout selfie, but quietly choosing to sleep until your brain's done washing itself? Remember, Einstein's equations didn't arrive while he was grinding spreadsheets at 2 a.m. They came after long periods of rest, thought, and yes, generous sleep. 10 hours of sleep tonight won't just make tomorrow better, it's an investment in the decades ahead. Your future self, less forgetful, sharper, calmer, will silently thank you. The friendships you don't sabotage because you're too irritable, the creative breakthroughs you don't miss because your brain's too fried, all of that begins in bed. We like to think the big decisions in life happen at boardroom tables or on election days. But maybe one of the smartest decisions you'll ever make is closing your laptop, ignoring the hustle porn, and letting your brain do what evolution designed it to do. So tonight, when you feel that pull to scroll, to push through one more episode, to outgrind an imaginary competitor, pause. Ask yourself, what if the most radical, productive, life-changing move isn't pushing harder, but turning off the lights? Because in a world that never stops shouting, choosing to sleep 10 hours might be the quietest and smartest form of rebellion you'll ever commit. And who knows? While you're out, your brain might just bend space-time too.